Hello everyone, I'm Dhiya. I'm in year 9 at Cambridge International School, Dubai. Today the story I'm about to tell you is a Tibetan folktale called The Tower That Reached from Earth to Heaven. Far away on the western borders of Tibet, there's a country called the Land of Sikkim. In the Land of Sikkim, there lives a race of men called Lepchas. In the race of men called Lepchas, there was a farmer named Wu who had many little pigs. One day, when the winds blew strong from the mountains of Tibet, Farmer Wu's little pigs all ran away. Now, Farmer Wu loved his pigs more than anything else in the world. So he wrapped a turban around his head and he went out to look for them. He climbed steep mountain passes and then he ran down into the valleys. For many days and many weeks, he wandered on and on, always calling to his little lost pigs. He wandered so far that one day, to his great surprise, he found himself in heaven. Now, Farmer Wu had often wondered whether the country called heaven was at all like the country called Sikkim. So great was his delight to see lovely rolling hills and many little pigs running about. He was just sure that some of them were his own pigs that had run away. He was just so happy that he begged permission to stay there forever and ever. But the people in heaven replied, "Oh no, you are not yet ready to stay in heaven. You must go back to earth for a few years more." The way seemed very long to Farmer Wu as he trudged back to earth. But when he reached the land of Sikkim, he told the men called Lepchas all about the country called heaven, with many little pigs running about. The men called Lepchas were so excited that they all decided that they would build a tower to reach to heaven. With a tower to reach heaven, we can climb into heaven from our tower without taking the long journey over the steep mountain passes. Every man in the land of Sikkim worked on the tower. One story on top of another story, up and up they built, one story atop another story. As they worked on, they looked up and saw that they were getting nearer and nearer to heaven. As each story was completed, they left one little man of Sikkim there to act as a guard. So they worked on for many days and many months. Finally, after 2 long years, the tower needed only one more story to touch the country called heaven. Then the little men of Sikkim grew impatient. If only we had some big hooks, we could pull ourselves up into heaven without building the last story, they said to each other. This was a fine idea. So the man at the top called out to the man on the story below him, "Send us hooks." And he called to the man below him, "Send us hooks." And he in turn called out to the man below, "Send us hooks." And he called to the man below, "Send us hooks." And so on. From story to story, the call made its way down to the land of Sikkim. But on the way, a very sad thing happened. The message was repeated so many times that it got twisted. And when it finally reached the bottom, instead of being still, "Send us hooks," it became "Cut us down." Whereupon the men called Lepchas got their great stone axes and cut down the tower that reached almost to heaven. It crashed in a heap on the ground. And to this very day, far away on the western border of Tibet, there can be seen a flat green spot in a valley right in the heart of a thick jungle forest. And the people say, as they pass the spot, "See that spot in the deep valley? That's the place where the Tower of Sikkim fell down. The Tower of Sikkim that almost reached the country called heaven, where the hills are green and rolling and many little pigs run about." Thank you.